Hey there, welcome to another EdTech video. In this video, I thought it'd be a fun idea to tackle a couple legal research questions that we were sent by Lexis. They sent us off on a spooky scavenger hunt, and if you hear us talking about sort of spooky season, this was meant to be released prior to Halloween. We're squarely in November now, but anyhow, I figured I would introduce the concept, and then we're gonna dive into the studio where myself and Amy Bruce, one of our teaching and research librarians, we take on these research questions from a couple different perspectives. I'm gonna be using AI tools in different capacities to see how they fare outside of Lexis, just your standard run-of-the-mill general knowledge chat assistants. Amy uses her own legal research capabilities, no AI included. And at the very end, we use Lexis's new document upload and communication tool that they're promoting. So it uses their AI suite to be able to upload and talk to documents securely behind their services. I'm gonna pop in real quick at the end just to put a finer point on the document analysis. That tool that I was talking about allows you to upload documents, and then it also provides a space for you to have a natural conversation with it. So you could tease out information, you can ask questions about it, and get natural language, just normal conversational responses back. So let's go ahead and hop into the video, and I'll be back a little bit later on just to talk about that document retrieval process. All right, we'll see you in there. So, we're in the studio. I've got the one and only Amy Bruce, one of our famous TNR librarians here with us. And we thought it would be fun. Well, I guess I thought it would be fun. She also thought it was going to be fun to do this. But we're going to tackle one of these Lexis faculty sort of exercises. It's spooky themed. It is spooky season after all. Yep. So what we're going to do is actually pit myself with no legal background or expertise, but I've got the power of my legal AI assistant of choice against Amy here, and we're going to try and tackle a couple of these research questions. So basically the gist, just to lay it out for everyone watching, I'm going to take on these questions just with the assistance of sort of your general run-of-the-mill chat assistant. So things like Claude or ChatGPT. Those are my two AI assistants of choice today. Amy's going to tackle it both from just a normal research perspective.
Yep. I'm going to, no artificial intelligent assistant. I'm going to go old school and do some searching on Lexis.
Okay, old school. Maybe not pen and paper old school. We've got...
No, computerized old school.
Okay, cool. So we've got some technology behind us, and we're just going to basically see what happens. So we'll kind of throw 10 minutes or so up on the clock. One of these directions, you'll see it pop up around us. And we're just going to go for it. So just so we can keep track of it, I'm going to set a real timer here with us too. But do you think 10 minutes would be good enough for like the first question?
Definitely.
Okay.
I can do it in 2 minutes.
Ooh, the gauntlet has been laid down. Okay, so we got a 2-minute. All right, this will be a good challenge. We'll see. And, maybe I can throw out a lifeline if I need some help with the right terms or something to use. But I'm just going to do my thing over here, and then we'll reconvene maybe in 2 minutes, maybe in 5. We'll see what happens. All right, timer is starting. Go.
Am I supposed to talk and say what I'm doing?
Sure. Yeah, we could talk. This is just going to be, we're going for it. We're going live.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going into cases and I'm going to do an advanced search.
All right, we got advanced search going on over there. I'm going just straight to ChatGPT, and I'm just going to pop this in as is. This isn't the best way to approach this, but I just want to see what it gives me in the first place. So for me, I'm going to showcase a couple different levels of prompting while we're at it. This was kind of like level 1, right? Like you just throw in the question that you're given, You're not assigning any roles. You're not doing any fancy footwork from the prompt perspective here.
I'm done.
Nice. Okay. So that's about a minute on my stop clock here. Now, of course, I don't really know if this is accurate or not, but I did get an answer, just copy and pasting in here. I'm going to throw in one extra bit of information just to show you how you could use these tools. So again, this is general knowledge chat assistance here. So I'm going to give it an expert role. This is one kind of tip or trick that you could give it to get better responses back. Typically, these things are not super good for this type of question where you're asking for legit or truthful sort of like research questions where you need an actual reference. This is kind of the standard hallucination problem that a lot of these tools have, but we're going to see how it does anyway. So was this the actual case?
That is the case, and the citation is correct.
What do you know? What do you know? ChatGPT got it right on the first shot here. So just as an example, I'm going to throw this other question in here, or prompt rather, but I'm basically telling it, hey, you're an expert legal research assistant, giving it a role. You help with legal research. One thing I like to do if I know just off the top of my head of a type of search query is going to be potentially problematic, like finding current and up-to-date references to things, you can tell it explicitly, hey, I want you to go to the web. Don't just rely on your sort of like recall abilities of all of your training data. This might have been a super obscure thing that was never really written about online frequently or at all. So there may have been a chance that this didn't exist within its knowledge base. So anyway, that's one thing you could do. You can also tell it up front, like, hey, I don't want you to make things up. So if you don't know, you should tell me that. Just another quick tip. And you can see already it's going out to search different sites where that didn't happen before. So let's see how the answer changed last time. Interestingly, a little different response here. I mean, we did get the name of the case.
Yep.
Which is the same. But it didn't do the actual citation, which is kind of interesting to me. And it gives a little more description. So either way, both of them are right. We're both under 5 minutes. So I guess 0.1 to both of us on that one. I don't know.
I guess so. Tie?
Yeah. Tie, yeah. We're currently sitting at a tie. Okay, so I'm going to go to question number 2 here. They gave us 3 questions, so I probably should have framed this a little better from the start. But we've got 3 questions, 2 of which are kind of straightforward research questions. The third is really something we'll probably have to come back and do a little analysis on our own to see if this actually works well for us. But they give you a document, and the whole point is to try and use one of the new tools that Lexis just released with their AI assistant, which now lets you upload documents in a more secure way to their system. And you can do all the normal stuff that you would normally do with a lot of the other common chat assistants. Again, ChatGPT, Claude, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. You're able to upload documents and have a conversation back and forth with them. So we'll get to that in a second. All right, you ready for number 2?
I'm ready for number 2.
Okay, let's get our timer reset here. What are you feeling? You feel this will
I
be
think
easy
again that this one, I might be able to get it pretty quickly.
Okay, we'll find out here. All right, 10 minutes on the clock. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Claude is done.
I am done.
Okay. So I tried a little different method. We can like talk through kind of our search methods
Okay.
here. And I'm going to get your opinion on this too. So I went to Anthropic's Claude, another chat assistant, one of my personal favorites of the moment, and decided to tackle this a little bit different way. So I just asked a very simple, straightforward question. How might I search for this in a research tool like Lexis? And then I popped in the question. So if I was a student or if I was learning law or something, maybe I could use this as like either a study method or to help me fill in the gaps of my knowledge. Like if I didn't know how to use certain key terms or phrases or search combos and stuff like that, maybe I could get a leg up in an actual tool that's specific to like the legal field, right? You probably want to use Lexis or Westlaw or Bloomberg or whatever other research tool that's specific to the type of task that you're trying to do. Am I talking out of my league here, or is that?
No, I agree. I do take exception with the response from
Good.
the AI tool.
Yeah, no, that's good. I want to hear about it. And I'm also curious because it did end up throwing in the answer. It says it was a pretty famous case in property law. I guess the question is, what is the name of the case, right?
And we got the same answer.
Yeah. Stambovsky.
B. Ackley.
B. Ackley. Yeah. Okay. So we both got the same answer. We were both done in like essentially 2 minutes or
Yeah.
less.
Yep.
So it was pretty straightforward. So before you rip Claude apart, what was your approach inside of Lexis, I'm assuming?
So in Lexis, since I knew I needed a New York case from 1991, I navigated right to a database that only had New York State cases. And I did an advanced search. And I searched by cases decided in 1991. And then I just put in the terms house and ghost and haunted. And I only got one case.
Okay. So pretty decisive there then.
Yes.
For which one? Cool. So what did you take offense to here?
Well, with the response from Claude, it recommends that you search key terms and phrases, and the key terms include 1991 in New York. And you could get a case that cites to a case from 1991, so it's not necessarily decided in 1991 if it's a keyword. And New York, again, New York could be a formal name, it could be a jurisdiction. And so if I, like as an expert researcher, especially in law, you want to make sure you're finding New York cases if you're in New York court. So I wouldn't use those as terms. I would do what I did and go to the database that has the cases from the jurisdiction that I needed to research.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the powerful things about having some type of domain expertise also when you sit down to use these tools, because then you can easily spot where it's potentially leading you astray. And even if there's certain terms that don't work, you might be able to pick up on a couple that maybe you hadn't thought of before. And you can also create maybe a custom chat assistant, for example. Claude has this feature called projects where you could give it essentially like instructions behind the scenes that apply to every single prompt. So then you could tell it, okay, when I'm, a specific type of query, these are sort of the guidelines, these are best practices. And you could fill it with a lot of that knowledge and content ahead of time, and you probably would get much better responses as, a result of that. All we've got left to do is kind of see how we can get a summary from this last prompt here. So you're going to use the actual tool that Lexis is promoting.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to just upload this to ChatGPT as well. So their upload and summarize tool that they just released is a part of their AI suite that allows you to now talk with documents and legal documents. And one of the benefits of using specialized legal tools that have AI-powered chat behind it and that large language model that lets you talk to things with natural language is for those specialized tools, typically they're a lot more secure. We'll drop a link to this particular tool's sort of documentation as part of this video, so you could read up about more of the security and stuff like that and why it's important. But I figured I would just call that out now while we're talking about it. Cool. So we're just going to upload both of us are going to upload this file, open that up in a new tab. And then we're just going to ask this very simple question that they want us to ask, and we'll see how our summaries compare here. So I'm going to get a little help from you on this one. I'm going to juice this prompt up a tiny bit because I have a feeling that Lexis probably does some extra system prompting behind the scenes to give more like legal jargon, basically, or talk to you as if you were a practicing lawyer. So it's going to be loaded up with certain terms. So if I was to be summarizing this as like an expert role in blank, like what would you think would be a good role? We'll kind of workshop this together.
What type of expert would be reading this case and answering this question? Clerk, a judicial clerk.
Okay. You are a super smart judicial. Who's our target audience here? Partners?
Judges.
For judges? For judges. I feel like ChatGPT is being very terse today, very short. It's just my own observation here. It doesn't have anything to do with the video.
I think that the Lexis AI gave me a similar curt response.
Okay.
Although my AI assistant used this metaphor suggests that the panel's majority's approach forces parties to avoid mentioning Chevron deference explicitly. I'm going to Google it now, and I'm going to see, what did the dissent... This AI says they actually didn't explicitly mention Voldemort or make a direct comparison to the Harry Potter character.
Yeah, the first answer that ChatGPT gave says, that they humorously refers to Chevron as the Lord Voldemort of administrative law, implying that it has become a case that must not be named. So it's doing a little bit of like inference there, basically, and a little bit of reasoning to try and like tease that out. I'm curious now. I'm just going to do a Command F inside of the actual.
I'm pulling up the case on Lexis.
Case here. So it does say, that's the actual quote that was said. Yeah, so nothing about the metaphor there, but hey there, this is future editing Kyle, just hopping in real quick to put a finer point on the whole document upload process, the document upload feature that Lexis released. So I think we were both kind of getting around to the point, we got a little distracted going on little side tangents there, which was fine. We had a good time quenching our thirst for exploration in these tools. But what we essentially found out was both the Lexis AI document upload tool as well as ChatGPT, they did a fine job finding the information that Lexis wanted us to go on a little hunt for. They both had their own sort of spin on the information, I guess. They were calling out various linguistic and literary terms, like the way it was calling back to metaphors of various things. So it did sort of insert its own opinion a little bit, but ultimately it did find the information that I was looking for. The one notable exception was the AI overview that Google Search provided, which I called out during the video. So still a point to ChatGPT and still a point to Lexis. Turns out across the board it was tied. And like my commentary suggests in the actual video, these were kind of easy softball types of questions. So it's really not that much of a surprise that both of these tools were capable of coming up with the right answers. So yeah, let's get right back into the video. We're wrapping this up shortly. So I think both of these cases seem to be pretty cut and dry and popular.
Yes.
So I think they probably gave some softball questions to make sure that if you were using one of these tools, it's not going to fall flat on its face, if I had to guess.
Right. They were very distinct cases, and so not hard to find. I mean, normally when you run a search in case law for keywords, you're not going to just get one case. And so we did in this instant because, I mean, I'm not sure how many times Satan has been a named defendant in a lawsuit.
True. Yeah. I can't imagine that's come up too often either.
Well, I could run a search and find out.
Yeah, so there you have it. We both found these questions remarkably fast. And, I think our AI assistant friends got a leg up by the fact that these are pretty popular. And also, I think we learned that knowing the right legal terms to search and the right search combinations and things like that inside of these tools is good to know, because if you're just asking sort of the stock general chat assistants, they might give you a couple things that, I don't know, not that they're unhelpful, but it might muddy the waters a little bit if you're actually trying to sit down and do like research quickly.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was a fun little experiment. We both found the answers pretty quickly. Both of us got the right answer.
We did.
Yeah. So thank you for watching this quick video, and we'll do more fun experiments like this in the future. So stay tuned.
Okay. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.